a fitness goal you might have is to get leaner, and that's something that I've also been working towards myself recently, and I think I've had a decent amount of success. And it's because I've been changing up a couple of the ways of how and what I eat, and they've really helped me out. And so I just want to share those with you today, and maybe they'll help you out as well. First thing that I changed was essentially what I ate, and I think that this is probably one of the bigger levers whenever it comes to getting leaner. It's just kind of the quality of the food that you eat. So beforehand, I would try and eat clean. I would eat non-processed food mostly, meat, fruit, vegetables, that kind of thing, and I just try and live a healthy life that way. But I always would run into this roadblock of overeating certain types of foods, and I always found it to be carbohydrates that I'd be overeating, whether it was fruit, or if I had like some cheat meal, it'd be like cookies or something, like something sugary that would make me overeat way too much, and I'd feel bad afterwards, and it would cause me to gain fat, and overall just like a not good situation to be in, right? And it was every single time that I would overeat food, it always came down to the fries, the pasta, or the fruit even that I was eating. And I was like, you know what, like I'm tired of this. And so eventually I discovered the carnivore diet, a ketogenic carnivore diet, and it has really helped me out personally. Basically what a carnivore diet is eating no nonsense, no processed garbage or whatever. It's just eating meat, eggs, and salt. And some people can even take it as far as just eating like just beef or whatever. But I eat like a variety of meats. I eat eggs still. I have a little bit of dairy, just a little bit in the form of like butter. But that's about it, honestly. I don't eat much else. And the reason why that I found this to be super helpful is because there's no carbs in it. There's absolutely zero carbohydrates. So it's basically like impossible to overeat for me personally. Like I just don't think it's possible to really overeat meat or eggs, unless you had some sort of like fries or some sort of like special barbecue sauce on it, to like sugary barbecue sauce to make like ribs taste better or whatever. I don't think it's possible to eat plain meat that isn't that doesn't have some sort of modification on it to overeat that. I don't think maybe it is, but for me it isn't the case anyways. And something else that I learned that is beneficial with having like less or no carbs, right, is whenever you eat carbohydrates, like your insulin goes up. And that's insulin does a lot of things from what I learned, but one of its main things is like storing fat in your body. And so if you have your insulin like up all the time, then that's just going to make you store more fat. So I think by eating carbs to raise that insulin, that's just no bueno, especially if you want to get leaner, right? And so whenever I learned that, I was like, okay, well maybe I should probably have less carbs. But I think the majority of the benefit from the carnivore diet for me personally has been in the form of just not overeating garbage food. And there have been other benefits that I have felt, like just feeling better in general, but that's one of the biggest ones. And it's allowed me to just get a better control over what I eat, and it my hunger signals aren't super messed up. It's just given me a lot more control and simplicity in my life, and that's why I'm talking about it, because it's really helped me out. And kind of talking more on that simplicity is just like it's like strict and restrictive, right? But because of that, it's also super simple, because like the basic rules. You don't have any sort of like gray lines, like the line between this or that isn't blurry. And if you compare that to something that I was doing before, which was like tracking my calories and stuff, like making sure I hit my macros, right? I always felt kind of like almost productive in a sense, like, oh, I hit my carbohydrate goal whenever I ate like 3 cookies that day. like that just isn't healthy in my opinion. That's why I've switched, and it's helped me get leaner. So I think it's pretty good. Next thing that I want to talk about is just kind of some of the other things in regards to how I eat that have kind of helped me get leaner and eat like a little bit less food and stay satisfied throughout the day. And I think you can kind of apply this even if you're not on like a carnivore diet or whatever. And I think it would still help you out, to be honest. And so the first thing is just eating like 1 or 2 meals a day and just avoiding like snacking whatsoever. I found that whenever I eat 1 or 2 meals a day in kind of like a big chunk, it's really just, it simplifies life more. It makes it easy. Like I just know like, okay, I'm gonna have dinner tonight, or like breakfast and dinner. And so I'm not like constantly eating throughout the day. Because if you think about it, if you're not eating food, it's kind of hard to get fatter, right? Like that's kind of my logic on that. But I've also heard that whenever you fast, which is basically whenever you don't eat food, I've heard that actually helps you lose fat as well. And so I try and implement that a little bit throughout the day. Sometimes I'll still eat breakfast and like just have like some eggs or whatever, but there will be some days where I just like I don't eat breakfast and I wait until the end of the day to eat food. Benefit that I have found whenever I am fasting is my workouts actually get better. And I think that's super important for getting leaner, because not only do you have to worry about like the food side of things whenever it comes to getting leaner and like the food intake, but you also got to think about your workouts. And so if your workouts can get better and you're working harder, you're gonna have a better chance of maintaining the muscle that you do have. If you're like eating less food and that sort of thing, you're gonna have a better chance of maintaining your muscle, but also just feeling better throughout the day because you're exercising, and that's great. And so I like to fast before exercise, and sometimes I won't beforehand. Like the other day, I ate right before like soccer practice and stuff, and I just didn't feel as good going into it. So now something I try and do is just try and fast before I do any like intense sort of workout. Or if I do eat beforehand, I eat like a good few hours beforehand, so I can really give it my all throughout that workout, so I can get leaner, not only through the food that I'm eating, but also through like the exercise that I'm doing as well, if that makes sense. Another thing that I want to talk about is just avoiding snacking throughout the day and just trying to stay busy throughout the day. I found that whenever I'm bored or I'm just kind of just sitting around, I just have this kind of like compulsion to go and look in the fridge for some reason, right? And sometimes that'll end up with me just like cooking eggs for some random reason and like breaking the fast for no reason. And I think a lot of people can fall into that trap of just having this compulsion to eat food and just kind of snack continuously throughout the day. And I don't think that's a good way of living, honestly. I think just doing like 1 or 2 meals a day is actually like super helpful just to stay leaner and to get leaner, honestly. So that's something I try and do, is just try and stay busy, whether that's reading a book, whether it's recording a YouTube video, taking a walk, going for a workout, that kind of thing. I think it's been pretty helpful in just getting out of the house and just away from the fridge. And just to continue on that, along with kind of like distracting yourself and staying busy and stuff, that's as the feeling will fade, I found that also drinking like salt water has also helped me out a lot, or just drinking water in general. My friends find me super weird for this, but what I'll do in order to, if I'm feeling hungry or whatever, and it's just like, I don't really want to eat, or I don't have like time to eat right now, what I'll do is I'll fill my water bottle up with water. I'll sprinkle a little bit of salt in there and just like mix it around, and then I'll drink that. And I found that to be super helpful in kind of just like curbing any sort of hunger that I have. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it has helped me out a lot in curbing my hunger. And I always find it kind of funny. It's like sometimes I'll bring my water to like practice or whatever, and my teammates will be like, hey, okay, like can I get a sip? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. And they're like, what did you put in this? I don't know. It's just kind of funny. They think I'm weird for that, but I don't know. It's just something that I do, and it has helped me out a lot in kind of like curbing my hunger and just staying like hydrated. Honestly, like you do need to drink enough water and get in like electrolytes like salt if you want to stay hydrated. The final thing that I changed up in order to help me get leaner was I stopped eating food so late at night, because I find now that if I eat food really close to my bedtime, it really disrupts my sleep. And something that I learned was if you want to get leaner, you need to be sleeping a decent amount, right? I mean, it's just kind of the same thing as if you want to like build muscle or just be healthy in general. Like, you need to get enough sleep that isn't like disrupted or kind of interfered with. And if you eat food too close to bedtime, I found in my own life, and I'm pretty sure that there's some study that has said this, but like if you eat food too close to bedtime, you're gonna like activate your digestive system, and you're gonna like you're gonna get poorer sleep because your body's gonna heat up from doing more work, right? And you need to cool down if you want to get to sleep. And I found this in my own life where if I eat too close to bed, you know, like I feel kind of weird, like my stomach is making noises when I'm going to bed. It's like loud, like I'm trying to go to sleep, and it's just like and this, like, it's not conducive to sleep. And I've been wearing this like sleep tracker recently, and I found that every single time that I eat food too late, like my stats are always worse the morning after, and I'm like, oh no. But I also feel subjectively worse afterwards, and I can always tell that my sleep has just been like worse if I eat too close to bedtime. And I think that's been really helpful to me, is just kind of limiting my like feeding window, I guess you could say, to just like anywhere from like 8 to, I don't know, like 4 p.m. or something like that, like just something around dinner time. And that kind of goes along with the intermittent fasting thing that I was talking about earlier, of just having like one big meal throughout the day, or maybe like 1 or 2 meals throughout the day. I think that has really helped me out. So yeah, like that's something that I'm trying to work on a little bit more as a recent, is just trying to kick that back, because like I'm not perfect, you know. Sometimes I'll eat like too many meals throughout the day, or I'll just eat too close to bedtime and that kind of thing. And those are all the things that I'm doing in order to get leaner, at least whenever it comes to food. I think training is just kind of like a separate topic, to be honest, but I think it's pretty simple. It's just like train hard, you know, whichever way of training that you want to do it in, you know, cardio, weightlifting, whatever. Just train hard in that, honestly, and I think that you'll succeed in that. But that's the other half of the equation whenever it comes to getting leaner. It's just like training hard, and then also the diet stuff. I hope this video has helped you out. If you like what I'm saying, then you should really go subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, I think I'll see you in the next one, bro. Be better and have a W day.